Hello. Oh, right.
A sideways webcam utility. All right, we're doing good.
There we go. Have to turn it on and take the lens cap off and everything. I don't know what's. So, welcome to Fanfiction Theater. Thank you so much, Spitfire, for subscribing for 4 months in a row. We've got a lot tonight. Got a lot of fan art, for one thing.
Make sure you share those with the Discord.
Okay. Yeah. I will remember that when the time comes. I think we're going to start off with Love or Lust. And then we'll do the fan art. And then we'll do the new Steve Plank chapter. And then if we have time, we'll come back to 500 or 700, however many days of summer.
700.
700 days of summer that we started last week.
Oh, what's that one about?
I would also...
Is that a joke?
Is it
It's Chichogen, dude.
Oh, I thought it sounded familiar. I couldn't quite remember.
Yeah.
We're going back to a classic, huh?
Yep, yeah. Michael requested it, or at least...
Well, it was on our list. Yeah, it's on our list.
Okay,
And,
I would
I'm
also...
excited.
I have a chapter of a fanfic, and I only want to do one segment of our stuff per episode, but I do have one.
Okay.
So probably for next time.
We're kind of
ditch Steve Plank.
Ouch!
Is that what you're saying?
Oh my god!
Don't you have a whole thing set up for
When
us?
you read the next Steve Plank thing, I have a poem. It won't be very long, though.
Right. I was including that in the fan art.
Okay.
So, yeah, and we've also, now that we're past 75 followers, we've unlocked Michael's other 1984 hate fic that we'll have to get to eventually. But
Yeah.
for right now, let's try to answer for ourselves the question of love or lust.
Or
Are we on? Are we on chapter 8? Is that right?
7.
7.
Link is in the chat, and let me see if this works. Lust VA. Yeah, that's it.
No, wait.
Love or
Are you
lust?
sure it says? This is no. Chapter 7's the "Find Me Somebody to Love" chapter.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Mm-hmm.
There was a whole
wanna
musical
accidentally
number
do
in
that
the
again.
middle. Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to do lust
Son
plus
Mendes,
plus.
man.
And that's chapter 8 is our current. Yeah, so that musical number was kind of a filler episode, as the author noted. So you didn't miss much.
Tells us up front.
Plus, there's a lot of repetition in that song. So
Yeah. A little bit. But we
Should've
sang it
gone
all
for
every
the
song,
from
there's a lot of repetition.
memory.
Somebody.
Okay, let me get the browser to the right source here. There we go.
Love me.
Let me just turn my mic around.
So I'll just go through the cast list real fast since none of us introduced ourselves anyway. This works for that. Tristan,
Kill two birds with one
who's
stone.
who's been talking over there? He's the guy in the
Hi.
suave suit. He's Fox, Leon, and Farah. Quinn is Crystal.
Yep,
Give me-
that's me. I am in fact Crystal.
All
With
right,
her
Tracy is-
estuary English accent.
Indeed. Tracy is Slippy and Wolf.
Hello.
Kevin is Falco and Orlando.
Hello.
Drew is Peppy.
You sound like again?
Do a barrel roll.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got this.
Use the boost to
perfect.
get far.
Dude, it's actually a rabbit.
Yeah. All of the
okay.
above.
Peppy
Kitty,
sure has had an impact on our lives, huh?
Kitty is Panther.
Real quick, what is fan fiction again?
And is Jessie joining us tonight?
No, she is not.
Okay,
But
then-
she is listening.
Okay, so Kat
Hi, Jesse.
is not Jessie.
I'll do it.
Hi, Jessie. Okay. And I'm Michael T. Bradley from Ice on Mars, your erstwhile narrator. Hey now.
You're an
All
all-star.
right. Thank you.
This is what dreams are
was
made
my-
of.
Exactly. That was my subtle nod to all the people who joined us for Lizzie on Sunday.
Yes.
How did you all not get that? You should be ashamed.
Hey now.
Don't ever.
So every goddamn chapter, this guy starts out saying that he's just trying so hard to get it finished before Halloween. So I looked. This chapter was published October 1st, and we have like 16 chapters to go. So I'll be very curious
think
to
that-
see.
What?
No,
That
the
published
whole
date
story
is for
was
the
published.
first chapters. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This one came out the 23rd, I assume, or maybe that's the last date. It
That's
was
the last
updated.
date. I don't
know.
think we get like chapter by chapter release dates. on
Got it.
fanfiction.
Okay. I guess we'll find out since it. I assume it came out far in the past. Am I wrong?
It came out last year,
Well,
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah.
October 2020. So
Yeah, it was pretty
Okay.
fresh when we started it.
Got it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start unless we have anything else to cover.
well, I've got more, but we can go.
Oh my
We're
God.
fine.
Author's note. Okay, I admit I'm rushing through the story, but I just want to get it done before Halloween. However, it might get done on Halloween if I get sidetracked while I'm writing. I hope that everyone is enjoying the story, mainly because I am working hard on this one. Considering how this story involves vampires and other monsters, I should probably spend some more time on the chapters. Nonetheless, I hope that all of you think that the story is good.
They make
What
them-
did you
Or
make
else
sure you
they
do
might
them
get
justice,
revenge.
or what?
I kind of want to, after we finish this, just send them all of our fan art about this story.
Yeah, I really
Without
wonder if
context.
people would appreciate it. And we have more actually kind of insight into that, I think. But that's for after.
Well, the thing about it is we've never had anybody be like, "Oh, you guys are laying it on too thick," or "You're making fun of us when we did this."
Yeah.
Right.
Celestia Ludenberg keeps giving us stuff, and
Or did a couple times anyway.
Yeah.
yeah,
seen him in a while.
I assume
I miss you.
Celestia. Is
Did we
really-
cross a line?
I think
Tell us what we
Celestia
did wrong,
knows the
Celestia
grindstone.
Ludenberg.
Grindstone.
What do you need?
I really.
We
She
can
finally
change.
watched the stream, and then
Yeah.
I really am trying to make the story good. After all, I am a newcomer to the site. Now, let's move on to Chapter 8. Chapter
You know
8.
their name does check out. They are in fact newcomer 24.
There you go.
Mm.
So they're the 24th person to ever join this site.
Like if they called themselves Old Timer.
Now,
Timer.
before we start the chapter, I just want to do a quick recap for anybody who might be new to
Oh,
the
sure.
show. This is a Star Fox vampirism fan fiction in which all of Star Wolf are vampires. They were turned by the SW46 formula, you know, some mysterious formula turned them into vampires.
It also removes squeaks from doors.
Yes.
Cleans
Very good
out
at
your
that.
gas tank too, is a good. Right.
Wolf turned Crystal after shooting her. He mercifully turned her into a vampire and told her that she always had to be grateful to him. And so now Star Wolf has kidnapped Crystal in order to train her to be Wolf's replacement. And also they want her to kill Fox. I think that's pretty much it.
And if that seems a little convoluted, there are hints that he may be making this up as he goes along. There's hints.
You just gotta finish by Halloween, or Michael Myers will get me, or something.
Also, Drew's got the right idea.
What's candy?
Drew's got the right idea here. We do have a drinking game, and it is for the phrase Cobalt Vixen. And we're up to 49.
I just looked at that thing and it's right away.
20 per chapter.
Yeah,
Cobalt Vixen was my favorite hair band from the 80s, by the way.
That is a great. Look, it's
Okay,
a
I
wonderful
think we're-
turn of phrase.
I think
but
we're all
not
set.
after 50 turns. Okay.
Chapter 8, First Day of Training. As she slept, Crystal could hear Fox's thoughts. The Cobalt Vixen couldn't help but smile, knowing that her
There we
leader
go.
was determined to get her back. Even though the encounter would have to end with her draining or killing him, the Vixen felt that it would be great to see the Volpine again. However, she still had to train with Wolf, apparently to get a better mastery over her new abilities.
Shot as if.
Despite being one of her mortal enemies, the one-eyed mercenary had been nothing but kind to her. Except for maybe shooting her in the shoulder, but shooting fatally in the shoulder.
and kidnapping, and there was a not so subtle rape threat in a couple chapters.
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
But aside from
Otherwise,
that,
Peach.
But they're animals. It's different in nature. But Crystal could not ignore the fact that he and his teammates had kidnapped her and that they, mainly Wolf, were forcing her to remain grateful to them. All right, see, he's got us covered. You don't need to make
Frickin' remain.
Good of you to admit that.
we don't need to make the snarky comments. He's gonna cover it here.
Yeah,
Crystal was
to anthropomorphize nature. So let's just let them be animals. So,
Crystal was sleeping so heavily that she didn't hear Wolf, Leon, and Panther entering the room.
Ew.
How I mean, it might be a party, though. However, the Vixen could sense the three older men moving towards her. Oh, this is...
Dear God, they're older men now?
There
No.
were 3 of them.
Also,
How do I
God damn
What
it,
are you doing in the other tab, newcomer 24?
which member of the monkeys was it that went back in time?
Davey.
Davey.
Yeah.
How could you forget?
The three, Wolf, Leon, Panther, and Davey, were
coming to watch her sleep.
not wanting to spoil the surprise. The Cobalt Vixen continued to sleep, pretending not to know that they were carefully lifting her.
Are they also chanting "light as a feather, stiff as a board"?
No, it's light as a
That's
feather,
what I was
stiff as a ford.
Feather, stiff as a Ford. Yeah. Light
Stiff as a
bevel,
Ford tough truck.
Harrison Ford.
Like a rock. TM. Okay.
Oh, like a rock.
You do know she's a telepath, right?
Leon asked cautiously, a rarity for him.
Leon.
She might have a few new abilities.
Wolf said.
We just need to have her gain a better mastery over them.
Oh, she'll be fine.
Anybody think that, if you're trying to like sneak someone out while they're asleep, maybe have the conversation before you pick them up?
Yeah.
I mean, Just a little strategic thought
It'll
here.
be
Arda
fine.
Daedalus says the 3 old men were stiff as a board.
No, no.
Oh no!
Panther smiled.
They didn't say how they were carrying her, right? Oh no.
Oh no!
How can you tell?
Wolf asked.
I guess.
Oh, sorry. It's like you said, Crystal has potential.
This is
I think that's
Panther.
Panther, right?
There's too many felines. All right. It's like you said, Crystal has potential.
There you go.
The
Like a
feline
drunk strong
said. Boom, boop. Wolf, Leon, and Panther carefully walked towards the lake while carrying the sleeping Crystal.
Okay.
All
Just
right.
gonna chuck her in there.
The night
Element
sky.
behind the boathouse to show them their dark secret.
I just okay. So they're on uneven ground now, carrying her. I mean, like, I don't know. Don't you think this future has to have some sort of like vibro beds to like, you know?
Right, yeah. A
whatever.
repulsor lift
Magic
platform,
fingers are so
perhaps.
damn advanced, Michael. You just can't even imagine it.
The night sky was still out. Good.
Good.
Making it safe for the Vixen's training to begin. Some nights,
Hey, the sky's out. So far, so good, guys.
some nights, the sky isn't there and it's not safe. It is really unsafe.
Morning didn't suddenly sneak up on us.
All right. We are here.
Panther quietly said,
Now we just need to wake her up.
Leon said, looking at Crystal,
Wake up, kid!
Wolf said as he threw the Cobalt Vixen into the water. Crystal then came up to the surface, coughing and gasping for air.
Easy, kid. You were underwater for a few seconds.
Wolf couldn't help but laugh at the Vixen's dramatic reaction.
Have the 3 of you lost your minds?
Crystal frowned.
I get that all the time.
Leon smirked.
You should be lucky that isn't holy water.
Panther said,
Just get the
Otherwise,
Pope
you
out
would.
there, bless the lake.
Otherwise, you would boil in that lake.
also be thankful the sky is still out.
Yeah. What I said.
Can you help me out?
Crystal asked,
I'm good at following voices, but I can't see in the dark.
I'm just a fox.
We're only nocturnal by nature.
Typically
It's okay.
nocturnal foxes. Yeah. No.
The Cobalt Night Blind Vixen.
Since you're a vampire now, you should be able to use your enhanced senses.
Wolf said,
I take it that's when your eyes glow yellow.
the Cobalt Vixen asked, her curiosity masking sarcasm.
Damn it.
Yeah, should
Curiosity is
mention,
masking
don't-
sarcasm?
if you're playing if you're playing along, please don't drink anything too hard.
You will die.
You might want to water it down.
Not survive. Not survive.
Well, you should have told me that before I made a G&T, god damn it.
These are like the experts, professionals only, guys.
There are
Please.
some whiskey games. There are some beer games. This is
Trained
like an apple
drinkers
juice
on a
game.
closed course, okay?
This is like a Kool-Aid game.
Exactly. You drink something with 0%
Yeah, just
alcohol,
get-
and
you
you'll
gotta
still
sh-
get buzzed.
You go for the sugar high on Kool-Aid.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, Misha says, I love Quinn's crystal.
Agree.
Oh, well, thank you.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Where are we? Oh, Leon?
Yep.
Yep.
You figured it out a lot quicker than we would within. Wait. I'm just.
Just take your time.
Are you okay? Have you been drinking too much from the Cobalt Vixen?
I can diagram that for you if you want.
No, I just read the sentence and understood it, and then was trying to understand what the hell he was talking about. You figured it out a lot quicker than we thought you would.
Leon chuckled.
But I
The
don't think
yellow
we've seen their eyes
eyes?
glow yellow once during the story, right?
No.
No.
I'm not stupid, you know.
Crystal frowned.
No need to act harshly, Crystal.
Panther stated.
I wasn't.
The Serenian said.
Just swim towards us when your eyes glow.
Wolf said.
Gonna know when
You're,
your eyes glow.
you're probably freezing in that lake.
Aye, aye, Captain.
I'm trying to make it work. Like, just swim to the shore where your eyes will glow. I mean, it almost works. Yeah.
Well, I don't. Could somebody explain that to me? Swim towards us when your eyes glow?
I'm worried
Because
that
once her
everything-
eyes-
When her
cannot.
eyes
I
are
cannot.
I'm worried that
Because she'll be
absolutely
able to
everything.
see in the dark. She will
Her eyes are famously
Oh.
what she looks out of.
Yeah.
And why
yeah.
is she freezing? She's undead. She's a vampire.
It's
I'm just
dark.
worried that every single thing in the
Vampires
story
don't
is a
suffer
euphemism.
Exposure. Everyone
Yeah.
knows that.
Okay.
The author
yeah,
has
they're
taken
pretty
some
cold.
liberties.
That was established.
Also, I hear he's in a hurry because Halloween's coming. So,
Mm.
Oh yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I get. If your eyes glow, Jesus.
You know, this is why you said there are monsters, so I should be devoting more time because I don't know a goddamn thing about vampires. I
All
mean,
right,
I
read
think
your
they have
lines so we can
rules.
drink.
Fuck, I don't know.
Their eyes glow yellow.
Just like I've never seen.
The Cobalt Vixen dryly stated as her eyes glowed
Oh.
yellow.
Oh yeah.
So she's all wet and stating dryly. That's clever.
No.
Oh my
No, it's
gosh.
not dry. I mean,
Kevin, you gotta leave a comment.
And before you ask, we removed your communicator,
Leon stated,
even though it would have been funny to watch you get electrocuted and fried to a crisp.
Yeah, they got some big batteries.
Thank you.
nothing but nice.
they really do not understand
They are
what.
so nice to her. My God.
Really do not
Really should be
understand.
grateful.
What does undead mean?
I guess
You
that's
can
why it would have
shiver
been
and get
funny.
electrocuted.
That's why it would have
Well,
been
you know,
funny.
you can
'cause
be
she wouldn't have
undead
died,
with limber limbs or crispy limbs.
Yeah,
All
in
right.
Some of the Hammer Dracula movies, Dracula could be killed by immersion in running water.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess if she's getting electrocuted, it's running water at that point. Crystal swam towards the three mercenaries who were normally her enemies. With her senses enhanced, she could feel her telepathy grow. Jehowever, she felt something new happening.
Oh no.
Oh,
Ignoring it, the Cobalt Vixen
Oh jeez.
continued to swim out of the lake. The moment she got out, Panther handed her a
16 feet
towel.
offshore right now. Still swimming.
thanks.
Crystal said as she dried off,
When you get dry, I'll hand you your sword.
Wolf stated.
That's how we do things here.
Wouldn't want it getting rusty, would you?
I'm just going to copy this command for...
So, okay. Shouldn't I be focusing on my new skills?
The Cobalt Vixen
It's been like a line, dude.
How many is that tonight? 7?
Yeah.
yeah,
just-
7
oh,
so
wow.
far this
Wow.
chapter.
Oh my
We
God.
made it past 50.
it's the gift that keeps on giving.
We're almost at 60.
I know.
It's the gift we wish would stop. Did the
I
Panther line?
didn't. It's
Oh, wait. Okay. Gotcha.
yeah, it's mine. I didn't just give you that sword as a gift, now did I?
The one-eyed lupine said as a servant exchanged the towel for her sword.
And over
Right,
the
what's up
towel,
with this?
nice and slow.
Stab me with your towel. Besides, you can't always use a blaster.
Panther smiled.
Okay. And that staff,
You
while...
know, you can't. You just, like at the grocery store, they won't let you take a blaster in there, but only have your
They
sword.
took yours away too?
you ready for more innuendo?
Let's do this.
And that staff, while impressive, can't always be your main weapon.
Oh,
Leon,
wow.
Leon stated.
But it was something my mother gave to me before Cernia got destroyed.
Crystal frowned.
And it was all thanks to that Andros bastard.
Crystal, let's just get started with your training. I don't want to be out here when the sun rises.
Wolf sighed. The vixen nodded, but found herself floating.
Didn't expect that to happen!
Wolf said in surprise.
At least she's gaining new powers.
Leon smiled.
How do I get down?
Crystal asked.
Think about the ground. It works for me.
Cue
Pants
the
for
Me
music.
too, Panther.
Panther told the levitating vixen.
Okay.
She said as she felt her feet touch the ground.
Wow, you didn't really need to do it, did you? What?
Huh?
Okay.
Wow, you didn't really need to do it, did you?
Wolf
Wow,
asked.
you didn't really need to do it, did you?
Didn't really need to do it, did you?
Wolf asked.
Need some help.
Wolf asked, suffering a minor stroke, maybe? Impressed that the vixen managed to get herself down.
I guess I'm one of those vampires with beginner's luck.
Crystal noted.
But what else can you do? What can you do?
Leon was... What else can you do? I'm Leon! Leon was quizzical, knowing that Wolf's trainee was coming along. That doesn't make any sense. Like, of course he was quizzical. He just asked a question. But then you're saying what he knew. It just is not.
I can smell blood, but it doesn't have to be pouring out of a wound.
With the power to smell blood, even if it isn't pouring out of a wound. It's Cobalt Vixen.
The Cobalt Vixen said.
These pretzels are making me thirsty, says
Impressive.
Spitfire.
Wolf, what's that? Sorry.
Spitfire just said, these pretzels are making me thirsty.
Sorry. Do
Impressive.
you want? Wolf said.
You're really coming along. In fact, you're doing better than how we thought you would.
Oh boy, that how we thought you would. That was no good at all. You're doing better than that, yeah.
I think Leon said that earlier. Was it Leon that said that earlier? I wanted to echo his.
I know that Wolf's trainee is coming along. I know that.
Exactly. I said that she's really coming along.
Should we get started with our training?
Crystal asked.
Before I don't need it anymore.
Yes.
The one-eyed lupine smiled. For a few weeks, Crystal had no problems in her training. To Starwolf, it was a miracle how she was surviving anything that they were throwing at her. While Wolf did turn... I mean, really? Are they giving her lethal tests? And they're like,
they're
oh,
fucking
shit,
Threw her in
she's
her
dead.
lake just to wake her up.
They're,
Yeah,
they're
they're just-
throwing stuff at her to wake her up. That's clearly what's happening here.
Like tomorrow, it's
Worse to dry
shurikens.
off with.
How is she surviving this?
Throw a shuriken and she dodges out of the way, and Wolf's like, you
Now-
really didn't need to do that, did you? While Wolf did turn the Serenian into a vampire, he was half surprised that the Cobalt Vixen...
We're gonna hit 10 before the night's over easy.
Did you do the horn?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, managed to do so well as they practiced sword fighting. Even though she had knowledge in battling with weapons, Crystal never felt as powerful as she did now that she had a sword. Really? Her
Even though
You
she
can't always
had
use that
knowledge
blaster.
in battling with weapons,
Yeah.
I just like, wouldn't the weapon she's used to be like giant ships that shoot lasers that can destroy asteroids and shit? But she's like, ooh, a sword.
Well, she also uses
Well,
the
that's-
staff. Remember,
Yeah.
she has a
Okay.
staff that doesn't it shoot things though?
I think it shoots.
Oh,
like,
I don't know.
like
Energy.
crystals or whatever.
I didn't play that
Okay.
game.
But then
so-
she
That's
did.
what you're thinking.
But she is also a pilot and does use their entire handheld arsenal in assault. So
I forgot that she's introduced in a game.
She's
that isn't,
used
a
rocket
flyer game.
launches, but never a sword before. And
Well, she was
feels good.
introduced in
Feels good.
Man.
I forget whatever it was, but
Star
Yeah.
Fox Adventures.
yeah, that one.
Well, you
The,
know
Okay.
what they say
All
about
right.
bringing
Okay.
a sword
Planet.
to a
All
blaster
right,
fight.
I won't doubt it.
It's totally
Yeah.
Her
badass.
Michael, don't open this up again, please.
Her flying skills were getting better as well, as she could fly over the forest that Starwolf had taken her to. However, she discovered that she had gained psychokinesis, but decided to mainly focus on hand-to-hand combat.
why?
He really has no pride. No.
She's just handicapping herself. My gosh.
She would only use her psychokinesis for distraction purposes and as a last resort.
Oh, everybody
That's
says
just
that.
In order to satisfy her bloodlust, Crystal would often go out with Wolf or Leon to feed on someone. Her main targets were utter scumbags, so she had no problem with draining them of their blood. As per Wolf's orders, as he was their master,
You had no problem draining them of their scum, right?
Yeah, make it easy.
as per Wolf's orders, as he was her master, the Cobalt Vixen
Hey,
Oh.
made sure to check if her victims were dead. This was mainly because the one-eyed lupine was going to make more vampires with the SW42 formula, even though he would occasionally bite someone who he felt was worthy. Despite that, he was genuinely having fun with servants as he trained them. He even felt that Crystal helped to warm his non-beating heart a little. One night, Wolf had called Crystal over to him.
what do you need?
The Cobalt Vixen asked,
What a reveal.
I just want to say that you've proven your worth as vampire.
Wolf said.
Really?
Crystal was not surprised.
Not only that, but I'm deciding to go under a pseudonym.
The one-eyed lupine smirked.
Okay.
That's interesting.
The Serenian vampire said,
I know.
the mercenary turned vampire said,
Oh my god.
What will you go by?
Crystal asked.
I thought through various ideas, such as spelling my name backwards.
Wolf spoke.
but I've got the perfect one. Volk.
Actually, he just got stabbed. He was
Badass.
The German pronunciation is.
And Russian.
Volk.
Jeez.
Indeed, that's what those vampire hunters will call me, Volk.
Oh, look.
End of chapter.
Wolf has a weird way of coming up with a pseudonym, as Volk is literally Russian for wolf.
Yup.
I learned that as I was reading articles about Russian animation.
Give up
While
their
I'm at it-
secrets.
You were
Wow.
reading articles about Russian animation?
Dude, you're trying to Surprise.
While I'm at it, I should say something to my first reviewer for this story. Oh my god, he
There
cannot
it
let
is.
Equinox Wolf go. Equinox Wolf, I assume this is Equinox Wolf speaking, sorry if I didn't go with your idea with making Wolf do the Dracula Alucard thing to his
I-
name.
No, they're speaking to.
I think they're speaking
This is
to.
speaking to
Oh, got it.
Equinox
Okay.
Wolf, yeah.
Okay,
Regarding Equinox, yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Equinox Wolf. Sorry if I didn't go with your idea with making Wolf do the Dracula Alucard thing to his name. I really am.
Oh.
I hope that you're enjoying the story, despite me not doing that. I would like to hear from you again.
He put in the story that it was a bad idea to do
I
that.
ship newcomer 24 and Equinox Wolf.
Equinox Wolf broke up with the newcomer 24.
What did you guys think of this chapter? Let me know when you leave a review. Until next time, guys, peace.
Pretty sure this is the first chapter with a review for
Oh no, he's been talking back to Equinox Wolf for a while.
Yeah.
It's
well, I
got
mean the first one in a
20
while.
reviews.
Whoa.
So Equinox Wolf said this. Said the backwards name idea was only a joke. Didn't actually matter to me what Wolf decided to call himself. Surprised Fox hasn't already stormed the castle within a few weeks. Is it taking a long time to prepare? Or are Star Fox unable to track Wolf down?
So if Volk is
There it
German for wolf and Folk is German for people, would werewolves be Volken?
Well, Volk is Russian for wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, Russian.
You see, newcomer 24 learned that as they were reading articles about Russian animation.
Interesting.
Okay. So I don't know. With all the extra stuff that we have, do we want to try for another chapter, or do we want to leave it there for the night?
Let's leave it there so people don't get alcohol poisoning
I don't.
if they haven't already.
Who's boo? This is lame.
Remember, they addressed that. They were like, somebody said that Command Revision Crystal Dice is better than
Oh,
this. And I have to say that I'm new at writing and etc.
Misha says the meta here is a far more compelling drama, and honestly, probably.
Yeah.
Like I was literally reading ahead to see like, who did Equinox Wolf respond, and they. I will just share this sentence from the next author's note intro. Equinox Wolf, I guess that I took your backwards name joke a little too seriously now, didn't I?
Oops!
I was just kidding,
I would
though,
love
too.
to hear from you.
It's a joke.
Please keep talking to me.
I would
I
love to
only have
feel your
till
words on my
Halloween.
eyes again.
Okay, so let's take a break and look at some fan art that has been submitted by various folks. We've got a bunch of it. So I'm going to go to illustration. Okay, that I don't know why Michael's back there. Get out of here, Michael.
fine.
Go.
Wait, which way do we need to go? There we go. I think that'll disappear me. No, wrong way.
Good enough.
Hmm?
Michael's
I think
still
that's
there,
illustration.
poking out from behind
Okay.
the fan art.
God damn it. I went back.
You're gone now. We wiped
All right,
Michael
all right.
clean. Okay, so this one is from Misha, and this is the volcano-haired boy
Amazing.
from 700 Days of Summer, who we will later learn is
Wait,
Crow
hold on.
Hogan. But
Spoilers.
No, we knew it was him already.
Can you post this somewhere where I can see it? Somewhere in Discord.
yes.
Somebody?
Let me put it in the peanut gallery.
I love this volcano hair. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So is he one of the same creatures from the Star Wars Holiday Special?
No, he is a Yu-Gi-Oh duelist.
Oh, okay.
But he's very, very young.
Dual uploads.
I will.
One of Harvey Korman's characters that drank
Okay.
from his head.
What?
Michael,
is
why
that?
are you checking
Who is
someone out
making
right
hella
now?
cash?
Yeah, seriously, get that bag.
My phone is on mute, yet that app decided to make noise. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
Is that your Bitcoin recording?
I can make noise too.
No.
Pew, pew, pew.
I've been shot! Oh my god!
Okay, so
yeah, that's a young Crow Hogan.
Crow Hogan.
Very nice.
Next up, we have a picture of the entire Star Fox crew with an iron stake in their hand. For a literal interpretation of them charging out of the elevator and startling Slippy.
Bravo.
Wait, no, I can't share it.
Oh, it's the best thing I've ever seen. Oh wow, it's so cool.
Iron stake in their hand. Upload.
Just bragging until you can see it.
There you go.
It's so good though.
And
Who did this one?
Misha.
Misha, it's so
Oh,
good.
Really good.
You're amazing.
And
Can
I
you draw
think
my
the next
D&D
one is going to
character?
be this. This is Quinn's explaining away the copious red stains on her person.
You know.
Oh, the tail
Kelly.
between the legs.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Nice. Oh, and the braided
Face
tail
on
on the
that
Cobalt
card.
Vixen.
That is a good
Nice.
call.
Is her tail
too.
braided, or is that a
Or
vampire thing?
cinched, or I don't know.
No, that's actually how her
She's
tail
got-
was. When I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about it,
it's got like
eyes on it.
yeah, not scrunchies, but something fancier than
Something
that.
girly,
I
so
don't-
you know she's a girl.
exactly.
yeah.
She's
Gotcha.
from a primitive dinosaur planet. She wears like
No, that was not her
Gloves.
planet. She was seeking out a distress call at the beginning of the
Oh, okay.
Wow, look at you
Wow, jeez.
with the back.
I love that opening because she keeps just going up to half dead people and being like, "Did you send a distress signal?" They're like, "No, but let me tell you my story." And she's like, "Oh."
Okay, we've got one more. This is from Michael from the chapter Falco versus Leon. And he's saying, "Come here, my little drainage target, for I am a vampire." Falco punches him out of nowhere, saying, "Hold still and let me punch you."
I just
especially like that.
Thanks. I think that was Misha's idea because I was like, what sound do you think a chameleon would make when getting punched? Because my original thought was like a squawk, and I was like, that seems wrong.
I'll have to go punch some
The other thing
chameleons
too
to
is
find
that
out.
I forced Misha to make a 3D rendering of the alley because I could not get the goddamn angle right. So there's a lot of design help from Misha here.
Bricks are wild.
I do like that the badass meter is fully filled
Oh,
out.
the badass meter is broken. Yeah.
Right. It's above 100%. You can't
no.
contain that. Oh, and another thing with the first panel is I wanted to make it very clear that there is absolutely no rational way for somebody to be punching him from his right.
True.
Or his left, sorry, our right.
Right, yeah.
I knew what you meant.
And this is Cat in here, the pink cat.
Yeah.
I thought that was the drainage target.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
same
yeah.
diff.
I mean, you got to drain the pink cat every once in a while.
small.
You can't say that on Twitch. You're gonna get banned.
Okay.
Shit,
now,
switch to Jurassic Park quick.
I like that Spitfire said Michael failed basic perspective. Calling you out, Michael.
Okay, so now the next bit of
I've been
fan art we
called
have
farther
is a
out.
poem. And I'm going to switch. Switches
Let me
over.
get it ready.
Help you in a second. I'm almost
Oh, you're getting ready?
I'll help you in a second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna open something.
I like how the room is dark and you've got your face lit from below. That's
Mhm.
perfect.
Yeah.
Very
Right
atmospheric.
here, yeah. Okay. Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, let me just turn your mic up a little bit. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, you should be good.
Okay.
Were you putting it up on the stream? I thought that Kevin wanted it up on the stream.
Not the poem yet.
Oh, okay.
Just me
Okay.
and my pain.
Can we turn this light up?
Oh, absolutely.
Black hole sun destroying all. Entropy winning the final fall. These all would raise my mood today. Ripped in two, filled with dismay. Arrayed in ashcloth, craving death. Yet breathing in each bitter breath. And the show, let pained heart fail. Death is kinder than betrayal. By fuzzy friend with tufted tail. Youthful verve and habitrail. Oh, grant my smarting soul respite. Eternal nothing, final night. Recline me down in wormy earth. Better yet, revoke my birth. I'd rather never tasted air than learn that Nibbles was a chairman. Now you can put it up and see that it's an acrostic. So spell something on the side.
There it is.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, so poet laureate or like best poet of all time. Put it in the chat.
And that is a perfect transition to Steve Plank, the before times.
Oh my god. We might just have to stop streaming forever. That was the best thing ever. We'll never top that.
Chapter 7.
So
It's
for context, for those of you who are not familiar with the story, Steve Plank had a gerbil sidekick and friend named Nibbles. And he was a really cool guy. And one week, Kevin decided to write a poem extolling Nibbles.
The wrong week, it turned out.
And then that very week, it turned out that Nibbles was a Benedict Arnold and betrayed Steve Plank. How can we sum up this story aside from that? Steve Plank is a character from the Left Behind series. He's a reporter. He's been trying to blow the lid off this case, trying to expose the chair organization, which stands for what again?
It's the cooperative hoping to acquire an international regime.
Yeah. Just general evil is what they do.
Kind of a generic title. It could be used by a lot of different groups, but
Yeah. Who are they?
but
The Order
it
of
led
the
to
League?
sit on it, which was key.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we found out that Henry Winkler is the head of this organization. Also, Dolly Parton is Steve Plank's girlfriend, and they're busting out of prison with a
Yes.
new vampire friend.
And the Phantom of the Opera, Walt
And
Dracula,
the-
and Eric the Phantom of the Opera.
Yes. Okay, I think that pretty much catches us up.
It was actually Godzilla, right?
Well, you'll just have to read and find out, buddy.
Okay, I'm just guessing.
Tristan, we had a request to put the poem up in Discord as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Chapter 7, Escape. With his hand in Dolly's, Steve led the way through the twisting corridors of the dungeon. The place was designed to be a maze, confusing would-be escapees. Luckily, Steve had read the Maze Runner franchise as part of his minor in mazes at Stanford, so he knew a thing or two about running while in a maze. With his navigation skills hard at work, the quartet of escapees sprinted past unoccupied cells and into several dead ends.
Steve!
I'm betting that
I bet
cut
it didn't
out.
go through.
Yeah.
Well, I said Steve.
The line was
Dolly
read.
gasped, struggling to keep up.
Yes, Dolly!
What are we gonna do? Even if we get out of here, there's no way that anyone will believe us about Henry Winkler being an evil mastermind. He's too nice. I hope some of that made it through.
One step at a time, babe.
Turning a corner, they found themselves face to face with a bunch of chair goons, all of whom wielding a different weapon. Chuckling was heard, along with the popping of knuckles as the nameless henchmen readied themselves to do battle with our intrepid heroes. Steve, Dolly, Walt Dracula, and Eric the Phantom of the Opera settled into their own combat stances. Steve planked, and Dolly picked him up to use as a club. Walt bared his fangs and hissed. Eric climbed a wall and perched atop it, waiting to swoop down on the unsuspecting villains. A nunchuck flailing fiend advanced first. Dolly took a step back, swinging Steve savagely. The rogue goon was swept aside as though he were hit with a bar of solid titanium. Such was the strength of Steve's core. Walt disappeared in a cloud of bats and reappeared behind another good a second later, sinking his fangs into her neck. The goon's neck spurted, staining Walt's black MCR hoodie with what looked like strawberry jelly. Eric sang deeply before crashing down onto a large man carrying a falchion, grabbing a passing damsel from somewhere and whisking her away to his lair. The battle was short and bloody. After all of the goons lay in a heap at their feet, Steve deplanked and Dolly set him down. They looted the unconscious and the dead for their weapon. Eric picked a rapier, Walt picked up a dowel, Dolly grabbed the nunchucks, and Steve Plank picked a 2x4. They were about to continue on their way when suddenly Walt spoke.
Who was Walt?
I don't know if
No
Walt had a
idea.
line.
Walt did have a line. He was the guy who
With the guy
held
in
the mirror. Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the mirror.
This
the guy
is
in the mirror
Walt
is Mr.
Dracula.
Jackson.
Is it Drew? Drew doesn't have
Yeah,
characters
sure.
in this, right?
Sure. Where's Walt? Where's the line? Where's Walt? Speak. Wait, I have an idea.
He derobed one of the henchmen and struggled into it.
We can disguise ourselves to avoid any more fights.
The others thought that this was a good idea and began to strip other cultists.
I do not share Steve Plank's views on cockatoos.
Nibbles quickly ascended the steps to Winkler's throne, dropped to one knee, and looked up at Winkler. The entire command center was in chaos. Alarms blared, chair members ran around the room, and screens flashed with a disappointed likeness of Henry Winkler. Buford was shouting orders from across the room, directing flunkies on how to get the command center up and functional again. Winkler sat in his throne, seething with rage, a pleasant smile on his face.
You summon me, Lord Winkler.
Nibbles solemnly spoke.
Yes, Nibbles. Steve Plank and Dolly Parton have escaped, along with Walt Dracula and Eric the Phantom of the Opera. We have a need for your particular set of skills. Go full Liam Neeson on him.
As you wish, Lord Winkler.
Boop, beep.
I can see the exit. We're almost there.
Steve called back to the escaping posse.
Just another few hundred yards, then we're gold.
Standing at the end of the hallway, under the neon glow of the exit sign, stood Nibbles, a long black coat on his shoulders, holding dual Tokarev pistols in his hands. His eyes were closed, and he was whistling, "You Are My Sunshine." As the footsteps of the escapees pounded down the corridor towards him, he stopped, looked up at Steve, and grinned.
That bastard is whistling our song!
Steve thought, his face contorting in rage. He let go of Dolly's hand and charged toward Nibbles, his knuckles white on the 2x4. He closed the difference between them in seconds, and as he reached the diminutive rodent, he brought the board down on Nibbles with the force of a lowland mountain gorilla. Nibbles dodged the board at the last moment, jumping towards the wall of the corridor. He pushed off from the wall, swung around his guns, and opened fire. Steve, however, expected this. He knew that Nibbles was an excellent marksman, but the gerbil was hamstrung by one thing. His eyes were on the sides of his head, meaning his binocular vision was subpar. Normally, Nibbles would sway slightly to compensate for this, but he couldn't take the time to do it in a combat situation. Seems the only time he would... Oh, well. Steve dropped...
That's actually a thing that rodents do, by the way. They
right.
sway slightly from side to side.
He learned
All right.
about it
Don't
reading
that,
an article
like,
about Russian animals.
There it is.
Not just swagger. It's parsley swagger, but
Steve dropped low and, like Johnny before him, swept the leg. The result of this was not what Steve... The result of this...
leg of a gerbil. Okay.
Like that.
The result of this was not what Steve had expected. Due to Nibbles' size, sweeping the leg was nearly impossible. See, there you go. Instead, the gerbil went flying into the wall, dropped his guns, and collapsed into a heap. Steve stood and looked at the lump of rodent, trying to catch the breath that had been forced out of him by the impact.
I'm sorry things turned out this way, Nibbles.
Steve said, his eyes sad.
You were the most important thing in my entire life. My best friend. No matter what happened, we had each other's backs. Remember that time at the deli? I was at the counter, and I ordered 2 pounds of honey smoked jerky and 1.5 pounds of kosher salami. The elderly man behind us was enraged that we would violate deli lineup protocol by placing large orders for multiple meats, causing the people behind us to add another 5 minutes to their wait time!
I told him
Nibbles continued for Steve.
that if he didn't shut his yapper, I'd go behind the counter and cause a health code violation.
Yeah.
Steve smiled sadly.
Good times. But good times don't change the fact that you've got to die for our plans.
Nibbles said, raising his pistol.
Goodbye, Steve, my boy.
Nibbles was interrupted by the crack of Dolly's nunchucks coming down on his head. He flattened as though he were a Looney Tune, reinflated, and collapsed. Dolly spun her nunchucks around like she was Bruce Lee before tucking them in her belt and flipping her hair.
That's enough out of y'all varmint. Flap them guns on someone else's time. We need to get out of here so we can defeat that pleasant old boss of yours. By the way, y'all were inadequate.
Dolly said as she pulled a salt shaker out of her pocket and literally rubbed salt into the bloody bump on Nibbles' head.
Oh.
Walt and Eric golf clapped while Steve did the Tiger Woods golf thing when he makes a difficult shot. They stepped over the unconscious form. I mean, he called him mistress? I don't know. They stepped over the unconscious form of the incredibly... Too soon? What? Jesus.
Yes. God, it was yesterday. I didn't even know I told you about that. Please continue.
They stepped over the unconscious form of the incredibly resilient rodent and out the door, on to the next leg of their escape. Ba-doop beep. The dots on the monitor that Buford was watching moved towards the exit and blinked off the screen. He slammed his fists on the desk, knocking off a coffee mug filled with pens. A chair cultist ran over and grabbed the pieces of the mug and looked up into Buford's face, his eyes watering.
So this is just a random
Sir,
cultist.
Sir, my grandmother made that for me shortly before she was killed in that high-speed accident during the kerosene shipping ship-shaped grape ape-shaped ship race.
The cultist said.
She told me that she mixed her blood into the clay and made a pact with that Prince of Darkness to make that mug so perfect.
Oh, sorry, Jenkins. Can I get you some ceramics glue or something? Also, clean up those pens. They're a tripping hazard.
Ceramics glue would be a great help, but I think you'd need Mephistopheles Stoppo these geese peace offering brand. Need Mephistopheles Stoppo these geese peace offerings brand glue.
Send sauce in box and box.
You can find it in the vial aisle at Carlisle's Bar Styles near Charles Niles Parks Piles and Tar Tiles.
You're fired, Jenkins.
You're a rude dude, sir.
I hate you, Jenkins.
Buford said, turning away from the conversation and toward Henry Winkler. He knew his boss had quite the temper, and he wasn't delivering good news. Putting his hands in his back pockets like a teenage girl, he walked toward his master. In case you're wondering, this is because women's pants don't have adequate pockets. It's absurd. You think we don't have shit to carry? You don't think we need a place to put our hands when talking to someone? Fuck you, fashion industry. I deserve pockets.
Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Those were snaps of agreement.
Lord Winkler,
I just want to say, can I say that I'm donating the extra side pockets of my cargo shorts to the next woman I see?
Start a collection.
Yeah.
Lord
In
Winkler.
fact, I've got a bunch of pockets on my pool table. I decided I'm going to switch to billiards, and you can have those too.
Who, me? Like on behalf of all women? No, thank you. I reject your pockets. I want my own.
Lord Winkler. I'm afraid I have some bad news. Not only did the prisoners escape, they beat Nibbles and I fired
And
Jenkins.
the women rejected your pockets.
What? But he was my most favoritist employee. He always spoke in those deliciously whimsical tongue twisters. How could you fire him? That's like kicking a puppy with a steel-toed ballet slipper.
Where did the puppy find that slipper? Winkler whined.
I actually tried to learn Winkler, a real Henry Winkler.
Nice.
Gotta watch a lot of Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
Sir, aren't you more concerned about the prisoners? They did just kind of escape, which poses serious problems for our plans.
Buford hesitantly said.
Remember that you told them everything and then neglected to kill them?
In a minute. I'm just blown away.
Winkler said. How could you?
Damn it!
He was a fantastic.
Sorry, it's gone.
No, it's we know what it is. But still, I don't think it's funny that the narrator after the women's pants is like, "How could you, Buford?"
Grammar.
Okay, how could you? He was a fantastic person. He volunteered at the animal shelter on the weekends. He named me godfather to his daughter. She's the most beautiful little girl. Her name is Alice, and she...
Lord Winkler, what if they go to the authorities with our plan?
Oh, yeah, that'd probably be bad. Send Nibbles after them.
Sir, Nibbles was incapacitated during their escape.
Winkler scoffed.
Oh, those scabs. Take Nibbles into custody. He will be executed on the morrow. As for the prisoners, I think they'll return to us soon enough.
So I just got to say, I think my mind went more obscure than the actual fanfic. The fanfic usually out obscures where my head goes, but it was like he was nervous about giving him bad news, and I was like, oh, a reference to the Wiz, that song, no bad news is coming up, and instead it turned into a diatribe about women's fashion. So, After their daring escape from the prison, the group ran for a while, doing their best to shake the chair agents who were chasing after them. After several minutes of yakety sacks combined with the door gag, they finally gave those goons the slip. Our heroes collapsed next to a dumpster behind Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, I think we lost him. Now, what are we going to do? Y'all think we should go to the cops about this?
Dolly gasped, clutching her side.
It's too late for that, Dolly.
Said Eric, the Phantom of the Opera.
Winkler has almost certainly gotten to them. They're his boys in blue now, besides a.k.a, right, Walt?
All cats
There was no
are
reply.
babies.
All cats are beautiful. There was no reply, and then
Same.
they realized that they were in daylight. Walt was almost certainly a pile of dust a short distance from the exit. Eric fell to his knees, screaming.
No! Exclamation point, comma.
It's like a hard stop. No! Eric shrieked.
He was only 20 years from retirement. He had a wife and kids. He had just paid off his mortgage. This can't be happening. Why is this happening? Oh, God, I can't live like this. This life is unbearable.
All right, Quinn, you want to do the line now? He pulled a root beer bottle, broke it on the dumpster, stabbed himself in the gut, collected himself, and collapsed into the dirt.
I shall see you soon, my sweet child of the devil. This is Drew.
Sorry I fell behind. I had to stop and find an umbrella to block the sun.
Walt said, walking towards them from behind the dumpster. This is fucking Romeo and Juliet right here.
Sorry, I thought I was dead, but in my defense, I was just like, damn, another one of my characters gets killed off.
When he saw the stab wounds in Eric, he gasped.
You sweet, sweet fool. I cannot live in this world anymore.
Walt tossed his umbrella aside, ripped his shirt off, and leapt out of the alleyway into the direct sunlight. He disintegrated into a million tiny, dusty pieces.
All right, that's more like it.
I'm fed up with this world.
I can't have this world anymore.
Well, it's probably for the best. They're ridiculous additions to the cast and served no purpose except as a gag that didn't really work.
That's the end of the line.
Announcer.
Mike, wait, he's frozen.
Oh no, Michael!
Oh no!
Michael,
Slap him.
No.
They put him in
Everyone
front of
slap your screen.
Slap your screen where Michael is. Fix him.
Yeah, give it a Fonzie hit.
No,
It
now he
didn't
has
work.
smudges.
Thank
Now he
God.
has smudges. It's getting worse.
Uh-oh.
It worked.
I lost everybody for a
Oh.
second.
Hello!
You're back.
We did it.
Whew,
I
that was
just killed
scary.
myself.
He's
You at home, you hit your screen. You fixed him. Good job. This is an interactive stream.
Where are we now?
we're at
Steve
Steve's
said because.
Here he goes again.
We're at Steve said.
I thought he was just contemplating it for a second. But
Steve says. Steve says.
The line that was cursed.
all right, I'll take over. Steve said because he's a big fat meanie doo-doo head who doesn't know how hard being funny and moving a plot along is, he slid himself over to the wall and sat against it, and Dolly did the same.
All right, let's assess.
Steve sighed. Oh, he's gone.
You're alone. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He
got raptured.
Oh, God!
He's been raptured!
Okay, guys. The 4 times have officially ended.
Wait.
Oh,
there's
wait.
movement.
Oh no,
okay.
it's worse. He's been left behind.
Oh, no.
Okay. It's that My wireless router is right underneath this computer, and apparently my foot moved in precisely the wrong place. Hopefully that doesn't
Oh, boo foot!
So I said the line, and I was like, man, it's weird that nobody's laughing at all during this line.
We're having a great time.
All right, goddammit, let's try to finish this thing off.
Hey.
Okay.
Welcome, Queefadactyl.
Yes, let's go.
Steve said, because he's a big fat meanie doo-doo head who doesn't know how hard being funny and moving a plot along is. He slid himself over to the wall and sat against it, and Dolly did the same.
All right, let's assess.
Steve sighed.
We are alone in a world that might be completely taken over by an evil organization. As far as we know, all of our friends who might be able to help have been neutralized. What should we do?
I should have included a better reference to the core. We have just enough power to make the ultrasonics burp.
Burp? We have enough soda to make burps,
Sure.
but no one's impressed by that anyway.
Well,
Dolly began, but was drowned out by a dark lightning bolt crashing down in front of them.
Well, obviously you need to recount your resources,
Said a familiar feminine voice. Miss Buttercup Sweetcheeks stood up in the haze left by the lightning bolt, a hand on her hip.
I think you'll find that you have more friends than you think you do right now. Crons, I got 3 coming back. On my mark. 1, 2, 3, mark!
A mist swirled around them. They felt a pulling sensation and disappeared in a bolt of dark lightning.
Wow.
Okay.
Golly.
I'm interested.
Wow.
Where are we
Okay.
What a twist.
So dark.
Now it could go on for forever now.
I will say I may have been imbibing while writing this, so
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I'm totally vibing
This
too.
was not
It's
the
great.
product of a lucent mind.
Imbibing. Is that
Will it
is
be done by
imbibing like
Halloween?
partaking?
Well, Hemingway
More
said,
like
"Write
church
drunk, edit
Edit
sober."
sober.
So you edited, right?
It's funny.
I thought I saw a little polish somewhere.
It's funny because that is exactly what I told Quinn when Quinn was like, oh, I'm writing this and I'm really fucked up. Like, is this funny? I said, hey, write drunk, edit sober. So
Yeah, well, it's everybody's favorite excuse, right?
Okay.
oh, this is on fanfiction.net now?
Yeah, he changed his name to VeryBreakyBishi, whatever
Yeah.
the hell that means.
Don't tell my DC, my very breaky DC. Like that.
Get
So
away from the cops.
It
this,
sounds like a badly translated.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, VeryBreakyBishi used to be known as Teshogun Dude on DeviantArt. I don't know if he's still on there, but this was an old favorite story that we read a few years ago. It takes place in the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's universe, which means not much because it's a story where they're all in high school.
Olivia.
It does
So,
what?
but what does Bashunin mean?
Oh, that's long for Bishi.
It's like hot twink, kind of.
I'm sorry. I would have backed you up, but Tristan had the chat hidden.
So what would that mean? Very breaky.
It's like a very tender-hearted hot twink.
Okay. Don't break my Bishi.
Your dad already did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
You're a dirty joke.
Yeah, it was the
dare
first
you.
fruit hanging low.
Hey, low on the ground.
Can we,
It's probably why it's not achy breaky bishi. It
like
was probably
that.
already taken.
See, I was thinking like deep fried Twinkies, like you get at a state fair.
Delicious.
This is something kind of sexual. So, okay.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Bishi is typically sexual.
Kind of sexy.
Yeah, so
Sex
700 Days of Summer takes the characters from the Card Games on Motorcycles show and puts them in high school doing boring things. I don't
At
think
regular
there's-
speeds.
They do their homework
Yeah.
on motorcycles, don't they?
Homework on
At the end of-
motorcycles.
No, I take that back. I take that back because this is written from Mikage's point of view, and she's just learned that she has Yusei in every single one of her classes, and then she gets home, and he's there too because he's their new butler. What?
Do a Reba sting.
I don't have.
Oh, we gotta get this back.
What?
Yeah, sorry. So that's what that button does now.
What does it do?
Huh? What?
Okay, so all right. So if he's a very breaky, beautiful boy, changes my author's note. I never really thought of. I always thought of the Shogun dude as like looking like his avatar.
Well,
Which
I would assume that he does entirely. He's got just that club hand slapping against his face.
Remember that one night when I got frozen?
Oh,
it was
that's a
in
hand.
about. It was kind of like that, and I was like, I kind of look like the Shogun dude.
That's right.
Okay,
Can you do that
so
smile?
right.
Without
That's
and-
not his thumb. That's supposed to be his whole hand.
God only
He was a
knows.
flipper baby, right?
Oh my! Is it actually supposed to be a thumb? Like he's covering the
Could be.
lens, or is
I think it's a
I had
euphemism.
never
I always
seen it
thought
that
it was
way.
his arm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
better
I
that
think
way.
it's
I thought he was
Dude, that's
just
how many
being a
different
really good
sides there
sport
are.
about losing his hand.
baby. I never
Yeah.
thought of it
makes
that
a lot
way.
of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Like it's
I'm just gonna
probably
say-
a cropped.
Thank you. Yes. Why do you think it's cropped so far, you guys? Come on,
Yeah,
really think
It's
about
a
it.
very
Weird.
cropped picture.
It's real
Yeah.
zoomed in. They don't want you to
All
see
right,
the
why?
truth.
Someone's shoulder.
Clearly zoomed in a touch.
I can tell by the
Okay.
pixels.
So
All right.
Kitty is doing Aki's
That's right.
dialogue. And I'm,
Yeah.
and I'm doing the first person narration. Okay, so
Did we have
700
a,
Days of Summer.
Was I doing Mikage? I don't remember.
Who's Mikage?
She's very cute.
Is that a real
Um,
character?
Oh yeah, this is from Aki's point
She
of
had
view.
the
I
blue
forgot
hair.
that. Aki, yeah, Mikage has blue hair. She in the actual show, she was an assistant to the first like main antagonist, and
Is
then
she
later
like a weasel
joined
or a
their.
ferret or
Is she the girl that has those
Girl
spiral
humans.
glasses?
No,
No.
I
No.
can't think of her name offhand.
She's just
She's pretty basic.
she
Oh,
has
okay.
short
she has
Yeah.
shoulder length blue hair. That's the most distinct thing about her.
Yeah.
Aki
How about
has
Dixon?
burgundy hair and a rose theme to her deck and such.
her life. She just had chose
Yeah.
a theme sometime in her life and will write it forever until she dies.
Exactly.
That
well,
is
Grandma bought her a Rose
not-
Themes photo album. She liked it, and she was cursed forever at that point.
Mm. Yeah,
All right, let's just dive into it.
grandmothers are.
Let's cook
First
this
and
goddamn turkey.
All right, I'm not gonna try to do a beautiful boy, very breaky
Yeah,
beautiful.
no,
boy.
no,
I'll
keep
just
it
doing
the way it was.
Good.
700 Days of Summer, Chapter 2. Hey, everyone, here is hey, everyone, here is Chapter 2. I am so sorry it took
Everyone here is chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
Ah.
I'm chapter 2, and so is my wife.
I am so sorry it took so long.
I am chapter 2.
My ThinkPad stopped working, and I had to alternate between several other computers before my new Alienware computer finally arrived. But anywho, onward. Please review. Special thanks to Scooby82101 for looking over this.
Woo!
P.S. There will be some POV changes in the story, though better than Roses and Stars.
Okay.
I just...
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's better than something, right?
I was just thinking this better be Roses and Stars.
Scooby
Not the worst.
101 is like the worst editor of all time.
To be fair, we didn't see the first draft.
Now,
The first draft could have just been like, I was just stood there in silence is for me. Okay.
Pee-pee.
I just stood there in silence. Not a single word. Not from me, Yusei, or my dad. How do you react to someone who is your classmate in every class you are in suddenly becomes your butler and now you are going to see him 24/7? Eventually, though...
you subscribe! That's what you do!
Ring the bell.
Smash that
Even-
bell.
Follow and fave!
Eventually,
Like
though,
and
I
follow
spoke
that
up.
bell. Sorry. Excuse me? What?
I asked while crossing my arms. It was obvious I was beyond annoyed.
Who is her dad?
Probably
I-
Tristan.
I was, although we've got more people with us tonight. But
Come on, be a dad. Who wants to be a dad?
I don't think he's going to show up that much in the story, so I'll just keep it.
Okay.
No
I
comment.
said, Aki, this is our new butler. I'm assuming you already met him?
My dad replied softly back with a twinkle in his eye. I narrowed my eyes because he always did that when he was trying to make the situation seem more like a joy instead of a hassle.
Yes.
Like when he gave us our wormer medicine.
Yes. He's in every class I have. Please explain why.
Please, why?
I asked. My dad just sighed. He signaled Yusei to leave the room for a while. He nodded and went into the kitchen. My dad stood up and walked towards me. He put his hands on my shoulders, obviously wanting me to calm down. Well, judging by my scowl, I was not calming down anytime soon.
Let us judge her well by her scowl.
Okay, I think this is her
What was that?
dad. Right?
No.
Because she goes, I interrupted.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I assume that's her dad.
Oh.
Well, as you know, I am always concerned about your safety. I mean, ever since what happened 6 years ago.
I interrupted, my anger beginning to show in my voice. I pulled away from my dad while my anger began to show in my expression.
Uh-oh. It's gonna show in her fist.
Dad!
Beginning
that
to
was 6
show
years
on
ago.
the radar.
That was 6 years ago, and I knew how to defend myself.
Well, yes, but I just don't want anything like that happening again to you. So I hired Yusei as a sort of a bodyguard. I asked your principal to let
Slash
him
butler.
stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably
asked your
pretty on
principal-
our taxes.
Kind of butler.
That's the arrangement.
I asked
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I asked your principal to let him in every class you have.
Now I was really pissed off
So
at what
the
he
house
said.
pretty much cleans itself, so.
I asked the principal to override his chosen curriculum and activities.
I knew how to protect myself, and here he was going against what I had to say and hiring a bodyguard that I did not want.
Dad, this is not fair. You should have asked me first, and even then, I would have said no.
Whoa, is this Ivanka Trump?
My dad grew a heavy frown upon his lip.
Planted the seeds, watered them.
It ain't
and
much, but it's
grew.
honest work. I grow frowns on people's lips.
He never gained that expression much, but when he does, it means he is extremely disappointed.
When he has a
was
second
unusual
frown
that way.
on-
His frowns meant he was disappointed.
Misha asks if we're supposed to know what happened 6 years ago. I don't think so.
No.
Unless
You're
it
supposed
was
to ask
in canon.
I doubt it.
I don't
I'm
know.
sure it's going to flash back at some point.
Yeah.
They're going to talk about it.
That's where I am?
Mhm.
Okay.
Or was that the part where she was evil for a few episodes?
This is their kids in this, so
And I do not think the show was 6 years earlier because they're still
they're
in high
children in
school.
this.
They would have been held back for 6 years, which is possible.
yeah. Yeah.
Imagine if you
Playing
spent all
Blather.
your time playing card games on motorcycles.
Exactly.
and leading a revolution.
really?
I believe, right?
Yeah, they also.
The Yu-Gi
How are you going to study
Yu-Gi-Oh!
when you're
The
someone's
movie,
bodyguard and their butler?
Man, a lot of pressure for like a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's got a full class load.
There you go. I wasn't even.
All right.
No.
All right. Please give him a chance. He has very little money and he needs this job. I think it would be good to let him stay here and be able to live in standards he otherwise can't afford.
My body froze at that revelation. I was surprised to
Oh
find
my god, this is Parasite.
I was just
I was-
gonna say.
I was surprised to find this out, and I did not realize Yusei's thoughts when it came to the job. Now I felt a little guilty.
Sorry, you say. I didn't realize your thoughts.
Even though I wanted to reject Yusei, I did not take into account his financial situation. So even though I did not want it, I knew what I had to do.
Because he was.
He's got to handle his financial situation. He's got to handle his financial situation. I mean, is this a nation of states? What's the state of our nation?
Go to Hamilton, we lose followers.
He can stay.
I could have gone on for like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Blabber, blabber. He can stay, but I won't acknowledge him as a bodyguard. When he is at school, he is a classmate. And when he is here, he is a butler.
My father smiled and gave me a hug. I knew my dad was always a softie, so this is completely expected. I smiled at his attitude.
I expected.
I
you
like
to
your
hug me back,
attitude.
Dad.
Ooh, this next sentence desperately needs some direct address commas in it.
No, no,
You're so predictable, Dad.
Thank you,
Oh
Akeem.
boy.
no,
You can come in, Yusei.
no.
Dad!
God, when he's at school, he's a classmate. When he's here, he's a butler. Come on.
Yusei is like, that was not in my job description.
But hey, I need the money, right?
You don't know my financial situation.
And you didn't realize my thoughts, so.
Standards I can't
the real
otherwise
villain
afford.
Yusei,
Who's the true villain of this tale, huh?
Yusei stepped inside and stood in front of me. I held out my hand and we both shook.
Who's you say?
Terrified, like lemmings.
Oh, does he say?
I have to.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, let me.
Dad.
But Jack. Okay. I have to go file some papers now. Oh no, this is still Dad. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to go file some papers now. You young folk get along well now.
He left.
He's getting so old so fast. What's happening? I need to go file some papers now. Get my things in order.
Oh.
Where's my Jera speed?
He
I
probably
need a
grew some
nappy
gray hair on his head. He left the living room and went upstairs. Yusei turned around to take his luggage to his room.
Okay, now this is Yusei.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that's what I call Yusei. For the record, I did not take this job for the money.
He said bluntly and out of nowhere while walking to his room. I looked back at the back of his head like you would if someone said their wallet tastes good.
What?
If he was not here for money, then why is he here? The question
Yeah,
was,
we
is he
want it.
alive? So later, after he put his stuff away, I went up to his room.
You said
I
their
opened the door
wallet.
without knocking, as I was sure he did not realize there were locks yet.
These are things he otherwise could not afford or whatever.
Yeah,
he's
poor
never
people
seen
don't
it.
know
Never
about
known a door, let
They
alone
can't
a
afford
lock.
a door with a lock on it.
What does having a lock have to do with knocking on the damn door? Like that's politeness. That has nothing to do with lock blindness.
She
Hey,
is
if he didn't
taking
lock it, he didn't care.
advantage of the fact.
Luckily,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
not changing or anything, so he did not mind. Clasping my hands
You.
behind me, I raised a brow.
I grew a brow.
So why
Raised
did you take
out
this
from
job?
a hair follicle.
Okay, so why did you take this job?
Yusei looked at me and smiled.
That's what I want you to find out.
He left his room and went to the kitchen. Now I was starting to get a little irritated. So I thought up some ways of why he would be here. My first test was to see if he wanted to work for my father just so he could get close to me and spy on me. I put it
What information do you
Yeah,
have,
I-
bitch?
I put a miniature camera that I got for Christmas one year and put inside a pair of panties. It was really embarrassing, but it would determine
you
if
put the
you
camera in the panties or the panties in the camera?
The camera's in the
either
pants.
way.
Put the camera in the panties.
Like,
It was really embarrassing, but it would determine if you wanted to spy on me for perverted reasons. Oh,
That
fuck the
particular
panties. I'm going
position.
out.
She put the pair of panties in the camera.
No.
No.
I put a miniature camera that I got for Christmas one year and put inside a pair of panties. She put the damn panties in the goddamn camera.
No, she
What?
she has a
Or-
small camera and a pair of panties, right? She took the camera and inserted it into the pair of panties like the camera was wearing the panties, thereby covering the lens, thereby nullifying this whole thing.
I think it's was that a tesseract cube?
If
or
he
like
picked up the panties, then
a
she would get him
Kleiner.
on camera. See, guys?
Right. And
Please
I
do
think
not draw
Pam
fanfic
got
of this.
new from-
Please,
put the
no fanfic of this.
panties in the camera and the camera in the panties.
It's like a snake eating its tail, or like the
Ouroboros
infinity sign.
panty camera.
I think we can all agree that there's no good that could come out of this plan. Like either way, it's stupid.
Either way, thank
it's
you,
not gonna-
Scooby82101.
version.
Thank you
Yeah, this is Scooby's fault.
for looking over this.
Scooby, you freak.
I left it in the middle of the hall and I went to my laptop to see the feedback. Luckily, Yusei did pick up the pair, but to my dismay, he just put it in the laundry. Why is he throwing stuff from the... Okay, was this just
He's a
panties on
butler.
the ground? Like,
Yeah, in the middle of the
She
hall.
always leaves them laying around.
Where-
Looking like
They're
a fool
in a
with your
camera.
panties on the ground.
this, oh God.
They have a camera inside them, Michael.
So cross that off. Now, I mean, it's to me. I was picturing that she opened a drawer. You know.
Well, you see,
Yeah.
he's a shitty butler because he just put a camera in the laundry. Like,
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna ruin it.
You should always shake out the panties, see if there's anything.
So cross
Or
that.
shake out the cameras, see if there's.
I
Any
think
panties
it's
in the
interesting.
That's
drawer.
true.
I think it's interesting that she
But-
ruled that out, and that caused her dismay rather than relief.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, she would have been
Spend a lot of
excited to
money
be
on
right.
Experiment failed.
Now I was starting to get really pissed. However, the worst part is when Yusei came by my door and said,
You need to try a little harder than that.
okay, that implies that he knows that she was trying to find out if he was a pervert. In which
Yes.
case, that means that the test is invalidated.
Yeah.
He might be a pervert and just, God damn it, you are bad at this, Aki.
Stay out of STEM.
He was enjoying this way too much. That was
Yeah.
the point
See,
where
what this? We're in the middle of the literary equivalent of a montage of flashy events. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see what he's doing here. Yeah.
that was the point where I locked my door and slid down. Nothing would work on this guy. So I decided to call up the one person I knew I could always rely on for advice. I grabbed my cell phone and dialed away. It rang for a while, but then she finally picked up.
Drew, do you want to be Mikage? It's kind of a generic, like soft woman's voice. Like,
Hello.
The ever-familiar voice of Mikage said.
Hey, Mikage, it's me, Aki. I need to ask you something.
Okay, but real quick, I'm in my car on my way to something.
I could tell she was hiding something, but I did not care for now.
Okay, that dude you say who was in our classes together? Not only was he in every class I had, but he's also my baller now.
Mikage gasped on the other line, just like anyone else would.
Why is that?
It's
unoriginal.
It's a ploy. Mikage is not just anyone else.
I just
She's
made
pulling the long con.
I just made an, I don't know, grunt.
Spitfire says nothing of the one thing I've tried has worked. Oh, sorry. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
Oh, it me now?
No, it's
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's the thing I asked when I asked him. He won't tell me. How do I find out?
No,
You
try
added
thinking
okay.
over it for now.
It's
Try
fine.
thinking
It's fine.
over it for now. Anyway, I gotta go. Bye.
Oh,
Then back up and think over it again.
no.
Mikage said rushing to finish. I just sat there thinking about why Yusei would want the job. But that was not the only thing I was thinking about. I was also thinking about where the hell Mikage was going.
Really? I was thinking about that? Can you believe me? My gosh, I don't mind my business for nothing.
I'm a
I mean,
scamp.
she never goes anywhere. I
had
don't
to
know why
keep-
she has a car.
I had to keep.
I suppose. Oh, okay. Am I supposed to read this as Mikage?
Well,
No,
I'm
no,
reading the Aki
Okay.
point of view, so
Okay.
only if
Okay,
she
yeah,
thinks
yeah.
or speaks.
Okay.
I had to keep it quick. I was almost there, and if Aki found out, she would be asking a ton of questions. Whenever I bring up his name, she always raises an eyebrow and says he is a jerk and all that. But in reality, I don't see that in him to the degree she and other students describe him. He has had a complicated life, so that explains his personality. But if people would just take a deeper look, then they would understand. I am talking about the man named Jack Atlas. I had known him.
Are you?
Apparently. I had known him since childhood, and even then he was not exactly a model student. His behavior was rather
Even in
rude.
Even as a child?
Even as a child. His behavior was rather rude and tended to keep away from other students. I always assumed he grew up in Australia. Like, did he?
There's no such thing as Australia. He grew up in the satellite.
Satellite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
All
just
right.
surprised that his behavior is sentient because it keeps away from other students.
Also, is he
I guess
always
probably
yelling?
he does, and
Sure.
his behavior follows.
Yeah, it's like a pet. It's like a Neopet.
It can only go within 2 meters of him.
Best kind of pet.
So it's like a familiar.
That's about the size
to
of a
take
womp
another
rat,
body.
right?
I was one of the few
Okay.
friends he had, and sometimes he acted like he did not want me around. Before I could finish my thoughts, I arrived at his house. Excuse me, mansion. The thing was huge, stretching far. And,
Ladies.
the thing was huge, stretching far and wide as I parked and got out. A bit
Excuse me,
intimidating.
Mansion. I'm sorry I crashed into your gate.
A bit intimidating, I went up to the door and rang the doorbell. I was greeted by a short purple-haired man with bizarre makeup that made him look like a clown. Yep, it's Jaeger. He sneered at me, obviously bothered by my presence.
I'll do Jaeger.
Yeah.
He's got the worst voice imaginable, right?
No. Second.
What do you want?
I kept up a positive attitude and expression
He's the
despite
Joker
his.
baby.
I'm the Joker, baby. I'm the
That's
Joker,
perfect.
baby.
Here to
Well,
see Jack.
why not
I was
I got
wondering
these
if I could
scars?
chat with him for a little while.
He sighed, no doubt tired, and called Jack.
I'm sorry. Tracy was talking over that whole line. Can we get that claim?
no doubt tired, and called Jack. No doubt.
He reluctantly let me inside, and I saw Jack
Hey,
appear at the
stop.
top of
I'm asking Drew to repeat the line because Tracy blathered over the whole thing.
Okay.
here to see Jack. I was wondering if I could chat with him for a little while.
Is it safe? He sighed, no doubt tired, and called Jack. He reluctantly let me inside, and I saw Jack appear at the top of the stairs.
He was wearing my jacket. True to his name.
Despite what he is like, Jack still is very handsome with an amazing physique for his age. Cold, violet eyes and a large stature. The complete opposite of me. He smiled lightly, and I headed upstairs and entered his room, where he sat down, tired, and looked at me with his javelin eyes.
What's the opposite of violent eyes?
Tiredly.
Violent eyes.
Oh, God. What's a tired
eyes
Jack?
of a javelin,
That would be like
Orange?
yeah, like yellow orange would be
So
the
hot
opposite.
orange eyes and a short stature.
Yes.
Cool. All right, just making sure.
And a terrible physique for her age.
Disgusting physique. Okay, wonderful. Now I can picture her. Fan art, please. Thank you.
So why are you here? He said tiredly. I bit my bottom lip for a moment.
I was just wondering how your day was and if you wanted a chat.
He ignored me for a moment as he rose and went to his closet, where he took out a cooler. Inside were bottles upon bottles of alcohol. Numerous brands littered the Arctic box.
So
This was-
like, give me a beer. No brand necessary. Just alcohol.
Yeah.
Numerous.
truck and dump
The
it
only
in.
brand I care about is numerous.
I just want to call out and say good job. That was the correct use of a semicolon. So good on.
Yay!
This was one of those problems I meant. This was one.
Scooby put that one in there.
Could be.
Give these guys wings.
Who's a good boy, Scoop? Who's a good editor? You are.
This was one of those problems I'm. This was. You just let me know. You just. Are we good?
Okay,
Are we
yeah,
good?
yeah, they're
We're good,
drinking
we're
cold
good.
ones. Okay, go ahead.
This was one of those problems I mentioned before. Not just the alcohol, though, but it's the reason he drinks. The reason he drinks sometimes brings him to the point of being drunk.
Oh no! Oh no! I thought it was the alcohol that does that.
Alcohol is just a middleman.
Oh God!
Should I drink this why I'm almost drunk?
I sighed and asked cautiously.
So when are you going to get over it?
Thank you for asking. It's on my calendar for Thursday. Get over it.
Why in this mansion is he keeping a cooler full of alcohol?
A cooler in a closet.
Like, and what alcohol is he keeping in there? Because you don't want to chill everything.
Yeah.
Numerous brands.
Oh,
Red
okay.
wine and beer.
He stopped drinking the bottle while his eyebrows hunched towards the center. No.
Drank the bottle?
Well, he stopped. It didn't last long.
No doubt.
But he tried.
No doubt bothered by my question. That is not how you use a semicolon. As soon as he shows me who and where the hell they are. I took a step back while clasping my hands in front of me.
Jack, you know how difficult it is.
He interrupted me, standing up. No, it isn't Mikage. No, it isn't Mikage. He can just introduce me to them over the phone or take me to where they are. But every time I ask, he flat out refuses. Do you have any idea to what it is like to be living... Oh, holy fuck. Do you have any idea to what it is like to be living as an adopted kid with a cold-hearted bastard who refuses to acknowledge he adopted you? I was a bit intimidated by his rage, but still remained calm.
Jack, I'm sure he has his reasons.
Jack interrupted yet again. Then why does he not tell me about them? After his outburst, the room was silent and Jack inhaled the air around him. Well, you were drinking from the bottle, Jack. Using it all up for his words. He heard a knocking on the door with me raising a brow as he suddenly froze. Then suddenly Jack stepped...
I forgot how legendary this is. Oh my god.
I know. I love Toshogun, dude, so much. It's so shit. What's the word? It's so sincere.
Oh, yeah.
Then suddenly Jack's stepfather stepped in.
That's what he does best.
Is everything all right? Wait, his stepfather, right?
Is
everything all right?
He asked in concern.
I mean, there's
Jack-
no reason he would have the same accent, but
Yeah, this guy's from
Um,
like Virginia.
but I guess
You don't
there's,
know my guy's backstory, okay?
yeah, there's,
I do.
I mean,
there's
I
no
was about
reason
to look
Jack
it up,
would have
but-
an Australian accent, right?
Oh, there's every reason.
Chef.
Jack looked to the bottom.
Okay, all right. So I'll do a different voice. Is everything all right?
Please keep that for the rest of the thing.
He just. I hope we just get to scream at each other a lot. He asked in concern. Jack looked to the bottom left. The bottom left, trying to avoid eye contact.
It's
Bottom left,
nothing,
bottom left.
Godwin.
You can never look to bottom left.
Godwin, that's it.
Yeah.
Godwin.
Nothing, Godwin. It's nothing, Godwin. The older man frowned upon the uttering of that phrase. No doubt hurt. No doubt hurt that Jack still refuses to acknowledge him as a guardian. When he looked towards me, however, he smiled in delight. I bowed quickly, wanting to respect the man.
It's Godwin.
There he is.
Oh,
Here,
oh,
Here's,
Mr. Geary. It is good. It is good to see you again. How's your mother doing?
I smiled at his question.
she is doing well. I'll tell her you said hi.
Jack continued looking away. I glanced over at him, worried.
Oh, is that me?
I think Michael had a stroke over the semicolon.
Oh yeah.
Is this Godwin?
Do you notice? Wait,
I don't know.
Wait.
I think it's Godwin.
Okay. Oh, well, I apologise,
yeah.
but you will have to leave. All three of us are going to leave for dinner soon, unless you want to come.
Bringing my attention back to Godwin, I smiled but shook my head.
Sorry, my mother wants me to babysit my little sister, but perhaps another time.
I looked over at Jack once again.
Goodbye, Jack.
See you at school, Jack muttered coldly. It felt as if my heart had been stabbed, but I bowed to them both before I ran into the hall and down the stairs. I stumbled into Jaeger again. He snarled at me while I just smiled and bowed. I felt his eyes follow me as I got back in my car and drove off again. This year I want to get Jack to get over his crisis. Because of that, he acts coldly towards everyone. He misbehaves at school, though gets admittedly good grades, and drinks often, to which tends to leave him appallingly drunk. My hands...
To the point of being drunk.
My hands curled around the steering wheel. I wanted him to get over his grievances the best he can and hopefully show him the world is very kind if he gave it a chance and to be a good person overall. I don't want him to become a wreck and reject everything. I don't want to lose him. I can't lose him. I want to help him. Oh boy.
Bro, who's sacrificing their throat?
I think I've gotten better at it.
I'm volunteering.
I figure since this is from... Well, I can still do the narration, but I figure this first part looks like it's his thinking,
song.
I guess.
Wrecking my eyes just to see your face. How much I love you won't slow down my pace. I'm coming home after all of this. After all of this.
All of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
I want to see my wonderful miss.
Woo!
I raised my hand up to stop the band. Something did not click with me.
Okay.
So
Who can do a... She's the French one, right?
Yeah.
I could probably do a French.
Yeah, do it.
Sorry guys, I think there is a problem.
Sherry, our guitarist, looked at me like you would if your car would not start.
If your wallet was tasty.
Oh no, I think that was I think that line was supposed to be Crow.
What?
Oh. Okay, so
Oh,
Tristan,
yeah.
you want to...
Okay.
Oh, this is
Right.
Sorry, guys. I think there is a problem.
Sherry, our guitarist, looked at me like you would if your car would not start.
Tasty wallet.
What, pity?
Why? What is the problem, Crow?
I looked at her grimly along with the rest of the band, Kiryu and Bruno, who were looking at me worried. I scratched the side of my head nervously and I took a deep breath.
Well, I think the lyrics seem rather basic, like as if a teenager wrote them.
I laughed at my comment, and it was a while before I had realized what I said.
Where am I?
We need a Bruno. I don't remember Bruno.
I thought he...
Dude, I understand what you mean, but we are teenagers. You can't really expect Bob Dylan from us.
Bruno said, and while I did understand what he meant, I still felt disappointed. I wanted to be really good, but I just felt like nothing fits. I mean, that is one of the main reasons why we started the band. I started this
Wanting to be really good, despite something feeling like it does not fit.
I love this. Why we started the band. I started this band a while ago, last year, I think. We all got together thinking we could make great music together. While we definitely could play our instruments well and come up with a tune at least, lyrically, though, we were sufficiently weak.
Well, at least you're sufficiently weak.
Oh, you're weak enough.
Our lyrics were basic. I mean, they are not bad, but I just feel that we're another teenage rock band not worth recognizing. Sherry LeBlanc is our main guitarist and backup vocalist. She is freaking awesome at music, way better than me. She could play guitar very well, and her singing voice has a wonderful gracefulness to it. Her French accent, of course, helps. Sherry is also damn gorgeous. Her long blonde hair flows from the back of her neck like a waterfall.
She has a mane.
Her face is seductive.
It's her dorsal spout. Like
I'm just imagining that she's just got a constant stream of hair falling off of the back of her head.
Right.
See, that was volcano hair. That's what
I know.
gives you
I
the
was just
violence.
thinking the volcano hair, now a waterfall head. Her face
Perfect
is
for each
seductive.
other.
Her face is seductive and her body matches up. What? Her body matches up. And when I first met her, I thought she was a
Good.
supermodel or something.
Yeah, she's like she was drawn as a what is that called? The corpse, the shit.
I think like the golden
exquisite corpse. Exquisite corpse. That's how she was drawn. So
Exquisite dead guy?
Oh.
Rotating on his display
the
case.
beautiful suicide picture. Is that what you're talking about?
No, exquisite corpse means
like
something. I can't remember what.
It's an art game. You fold a paper into like 3 different sections, and you mark like where it's supposed to line up. And somebody draws the head, somebody draws the torso, and somebody draws the legs or whatever without looking at it, and then you unfurl it, and it's an exquisite corpse.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
But her parts match up, and that's the important thing.
The shit, I can't think of his new name. The artist formerly known as Poppy Z. Bright did a book of short stories called Exquisite Corpse. No, that was one of his novels. It was about 2 serial killers falling in love, and so it's interesting that it's a game.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it is like 9 o'clock So we need to focus if we're going to get through this before 10.
All right.
Yeah, let's power through here.
Okay. I think what he's trying to say is that it is also seductive, but it matches up, does not. All right. And when I first met her, I thought she was a supermodel or something. She came to school, and like anyone who moved to a new place, she was nervous. But I made friends with her and introduced her to her then boyfriend, Bruno.
Really? That's impressive.
Have you been dating? Name's Bruno.
Thought you should know. Speaking of Bruno, he was our band's keyboard player and backup guitar player, as well as the one who keeps our instruments in decent shape.
Is his body seductive?
He is kind of an idiot.
Miles.
He is kind of an idiot when it comes to social gatherings, but not that much of one. Plus, he is a fun guy to hang out with. In social gatherings, what the fuck? He always had the smile on his face, even in the worst situation, and he always tried to cheer everyone up. I met him before Sherry, and we were the ones who had the band idea. We were the bulk and skull of our school.
What?
Power Rangers reference.
Oh no, please keep going.
We were kind of idiots, but later we tried growing up when the band was started. Sherry later got together with Bruno, mainly because she likes his attitude and he always manages to cheer her up. I love seeing those two flirt with one another, though at the same time I am angry. I think I was jealous that a guy like Bruno managed to get a girlfriend, but not me, though still I am happy that a friend found love. You might have noticed that I have not mentioned a drummer yet. Well, we do. His name is...
What? That's not real. That's not real.
His name is Kiryu Kyosuke. We knew little to jack shit about him, and when we talked to him, he barely spoke. We did not even know whether if he was shy or just cold. We managed to get him because we put up signs around the school asking about a drummer, and he was the only one who showed up. Don't get me wrong, he is a great drummer, but I thought he was really confusing. Our band is called the Raven Kings because, hey, I'm a fan of birds. Plus, a rule to indie rock is that you have to take two items that have nothing in common and combine them or something that does not sound like a band name. Examples would be Arcade Fire, Neon Trees, the Postal Service, Foster the People.
The Postal Service?
What does the postal have to do with service? What does the have to do with postal service?
We normally practice at my apartment, which my family pays for. It is pretty small, but just enough room so that I can practice in the garage. Besides, I don't have a car, only a motorcycle. I put my bass guitar down and picked up my notebook from the ground. I opened it up and flipped to the page the lyrics were on. I took my pencil out of the notebook spine and erased them. We needed something that not over 9,000 people have used before us.
Sick reference, bro.
Like that reference?
Okay.
Take a break, you guys. I'm going to think of something better.
Oh my God, that feels good. Yeah. They all smiled and put their instruments down. Bruno went over to Sherry and started flirting with her again, and Kiryu is doing God knows what. I would
know what he's doing.
I would pay more attention, but I was so frustrated by the song. What the hell could I use? Then suddenly 2 girls appeared at the entryway of the garage.
Okay, black-haired one with jewelry on her forehead.
Misty.
Okay.
Misty.
Oh, God.
Yeah, go for it, Trish.
Okay.
Hey guys, I brought some pizza.
Chirped the black-haired one with jewelry on her forehead, rocking tits and a sexy body.
Oh, she's rocking tits today? Nice.
Well, they're swaying.
Well, she just appeared. They're still going.
Slow ride. No doubt about it.
Sexy body.
Was Misty. She had always been fan of our music, probably because it's so different than what she is used to. Her family is rich, though she treats it like it's nothing at all. She really does not like talking about her wealth. Hell, she does not even like talking about her looks. Well, actually, sometimes she jokes about it, but after tons of guys tried hitting on her, perving, etc., she just got sick of it. I smiled and walked over to her.
Finding a picture of Misty.
Hey, Misty, how was school today? I mean, aside from gym class, because I was there.
She handed me the pizza and rubbed the bridge of her nose.
I know that sucked.
This is Misty.
Those stupid perverts! And they haven't changed since the beginning, but it got especially worse today when someone was staring at my breasts and even tried to grope them today. I'm fucking sick of it!
I suddenly moved my eyes up, not wanting to anger her. But in all seriousness, I always make sure to treat her the way she deserves, unlike those douchebags at school. Though, like any guy, I occasionally slip into perv mode. Though really, if you look at Misty, could you blame me? I feel sorry for...
yeah, we really do.
Yeah. I think we unanimously have found that we can, in fact, blame you.
Honestly, we don't even have to look at her.
I want to know
we can
first,
just blame you.
How rockin' were the tits, okay? I mean...
I don't know.
No, I thought she was rocking
Were they
tits.
Metallica rocking or
As in, like, she was wearing them.
They were headbanging rocking.
What sounds like motorboating. I occasionally slip into I feel sorry for her. She's an amazing person, but all the guys seem to notice about her are her looks. I'm ashamed to say that I have done this in the past, but I try not to do it as much to respect her.
Guilty!
This is Carly, star of iCarly, I
Misty,
believe.
please calm down. No, this is swirly glasses.
Yeah, this is swirly glasses.
Misty, please calm down. There could be children around here.
The other girl with large glasses and long green hair said in a worried tone. Yep, typical Carly. Carly has always been sort of a klutz, though not cartoony bad. She was pretty cautious about what she does, and she had always been a little shy. She also worked as our band's
drinking game for this one.
She also worked as our band's advertiser, and she also runs the school newspaper. She wants to be a reporter someday, and I hope one day she does because she is a great writer. She always gives out good places for our band to perform or eat out. Phrasing? And she is not bad looking either. She normally hangs out with Misty because of how they got involved with our band. Misty calmed down after her outburst, realizing the neighborhood around her.
You're right, sorry.
Blushing a bit, she quickly changed topic.
So how's the new song coming along?
I frowned when she asked that question. She looked at me concerned.
It sounds cliche and really not impressive. Basically, it sucks.
That's definitely Tristan.
Yeah, it's just confusing.
It sounds cliche and not really really not impressive. Basically, it sucks. It sucks.
It stinks. Misty put her hand on my back, trying to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry. You just need some inspiration. Try to find something great. Who knows? Maybe something amazing will happen to you this year.
I looked back into her eyes, giving a small smile. Little did I know I was going to get more than just inspiration for a silly love song.
I'm getting inspiration for my manifesto.
All right, let's do this.
I was still on the door, pretty much dead. I tried thinking up other reasons, and yet still nothing. I just sighed, completely exhausted from thinking, a task I did not know was even possible.
I didn't know you could just do this at home.
Eventually, though, a knock came from the door. I asked who it is, and of course it was you, say the one knocking.
I'm the one that knocks.
Hey, mind if I come in?
I got up and opened the door. He still had the innocent smile. A smile that meant he enjoyed every moment of my pain. I forced myself to smile back.
The pain of him
Goldfish.
doing your laundry. Like,
Oh, is this him again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So did you figure out why I am here?
I shook my head, anticipating if he was going to answer my question. Suddenly, though, without warning, he put his arms around me in a comfortable hug. Aw, a comfortable hug, not an uncomfortable one. I wanted to be scared, but his arms were so warm and comforting.
Hence the comforting hug. Tying this back to earlier when they said he put his arms around them in a comfortable hug.
He set it up, and then he knocked it down.
He knew exactly what
The
he was
ether
doing.
might have had something to do with it.
It's like then he's not gonna spell it out, but all the breadcrumbs are there. You know, it's like all the arms are the comforting.
I
part
took
of my
this
hug.
job so I could be friends with you. A lot of the time I see you alone or you're only with Mikage.
loser.
Whenever I saw you like that, I felt sad. And I wanted to know you and Mikage better. I knew you were a nice person. So when your dad offered the job, I took it up. I want to be friends.
That's creepy, man.
Nothing creepy about
I
it.
took this job because
I've just been watching you.
Washing your panties.
Oh, God. I was taken aback by this. I should have been angry that he had been watching me for so long, but his words struck a chord within me. Was it because he was being genuine, or was I really that exhilarated to know his reason? If that is his reason. He pulled back to look into my eyes. He had a wonderful expression of happiness that I did not need a mirror to see it, but I could tell that Yusei was more than happy about it.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that checks out. I mean, it's true.
Just look forward. You look at his face.
More than happy about his face.
Okay, he wasn't lying. But why not tell me in the first place? Sighing, I simply smiled.
And I didn't say anything because I simply smiled. And that's it.
Thank you, you say. That means a lot to me ever since. No, never mind. But thank you so much. Still, I'm not acknowledging you as a bodyguard.
I gave him the sternest glance I could muster, but he simply gained an even bigger smile on his face.
Behold, I have gained smile.
We got people growing crowns, gaining smiles left and right. It's a madhouse.
The smile meter is
Smiles
off the charts.
Is it a
I've never
public
seen
lip?
anything like it.
No far. We'll be friends only. And thank you, a.k.a, for giving me a chance.
Hope you enjoyed that chapter, and please review. Thank you, Scooby, once again, and all the people who are watching this story so far.
Scooby.
R.I.P. ThinkPad, October 2010 to January 24th, 2012.
I forgot how much Scooby just sucks.
Again, to
Did
be
their
fair,
best.
we aren't seeing the first draft.
Yeah, what if Scooby went
He
in
had
and
a
made it
wonderful
worse? She's like, you don't
he
need
had a
any
wonderful
comments.
expression of happiness that I did not need a mirror to see it, but I could tell that Yusei was more than happy about his wonderful expression of happiness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
He's
you got
wonderful.
it.
this sentence a treasure.
I think we have learned that no one should ever date VeryBreakyBishi.
Don't tell my Bishi, my very breaky Bishi.
They're
Don't tell
That's
me.
the
very
third
breaky.
time.
I know. Come on, rule of threes. All right. High five, everybody.
That doesn't mean you just get to spam it 3 times.
Yes, it does. That's what it does. That's what it is.
Okay, we're past our time. Although I think we have a great physique for our age.
And you might have noticed that I have not mentioned a drummer yet. Well, we do.
But we're going to raid Melu. Have a good night. Remember it all going according to plan. And
Bye.
see ya
Bye bye.
Bye.
later.